Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, so we are at the fag end of the second chapter. Any questions, clarifications before I move ahead? Probably we'll complete the chapter today.
So I did have a question from the last class.
Shoot.
So the one, the Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam, that
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
You had explained that while the ignorant might find it difficult to relate to the wise person.
Yeah.
The wise person would probably find it a little easier to relate to the ignorant because he has also traveled that path.
Correct.
Just one clarification there is, but I imagine even there the background of the wise person would help him relate better with the ignorant.
Yeah. If the wise person is more contemporary, it'll be easier. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Like for example, there is a wise person from a very orthodox background. Okay. He is not exposed to modern thinking. Rare, but it is there. There are people like that whom I know. One or two among my Guru Bhais itself. And someone comes and says, a student goes to him and says, I am in an extramarital relationship. How do you expect that wise person to handle it? He is coming from a very orthodox background. This is adharma, this is this. Do you expect compassion from that man? Difficult. Maybe. I remember a celebrity went to the old man of Kanchi. And the old man of Kanchi was not exposed to modernity. But he functioned with a lot of compassion. But those cases are rare. So a little bit being contemporary helps. Yeah. Extramarital affairs, etc. is an old thing, as old as the human beings. So even a wise person, orthodox wise person can relate to it. Like for example, Chennai is very, very orthodox. Okay. Rural Tamil Nadu is orthodox. Chennai is a bit more from. But how many Chinna Vedas are there in rural Tamil Nadu? So it is as old as the hills. So people can relate. Yeah. But what, like I was speaking to this astrologer friend of mine, and he said, this person came and told me I am gay, but there is nothing in astrology to justify that, or in a shastra to justify that. I said, ठीक है. But as a corollary it is there. That if somebody has spent the last half a dozen lifetimes as a woman, and this lifetime is born as a man, sexually, romantically, he may still be attracted to a man because of the samskara of half a dozen lifetimes. Then why is he born as a man? Because there are certain lessons to be learned in a man's body, like there are certain lessons to be learned in a woman's body. But that is one explanation why some people are born with such tendencies. So those type of things will come up. You have to be modern enough to be able to handle that. Yeah. Because your orientation has got nothing to do with moksha anyway. Yeah. Unless the question of dharma is involved, that's a different thing. Yeah. Like cheating people and things like that, that's a different thing. Yeah. So, it helps if he is contemporary, yes. Yeah. That's why in the other class, Taittiriya class, when the Guru is telling the youngsters whom to go to for advice, he says that, na, aluksha dharma kamasya. someone who is non-judgmental, non-critical, etc. Yeah. Yeah. Because only such a person can help, no? Otherwise, yeah. Like I know an old sadhu in one of our ashrams. If a tourist walks in with a pair of shorts, he will start screaming at those people. How inappropriate it is, where in the ashram this, that. Arey, they are tourists, they don't know, they just walked in thinking this is an interesting place to see. Because it pops up on the places to see in that town. So you can't be screaming and shouting at someone who doesn't know anything about your culture but is curious enough and wants to know. It's inappropriate behavior, on the part of the wise person also. So such are not the people who can guide the society. Or even a very good person, non-judgmental, non-critical, etc. But who has a belief system that I am a Vedanta teacher, come to me only with Vedanta, nothing else. I am here only as a teacher, nothing else. Then you go to him and ask something about a socio-political issue which is affecting the community. Temple takeover, for example. Tirupati Laddu, another example. Okay. You think he'll be able to? He'll say, no, don't ask me those questions. If you want Vedanta, you come to me. Otherwise, don't come to me. I mean, he has a right to take that stand. After all, it's his choice, now what he should handle or not handle. But you better not go to him for such issues. Simple as that. Yeah. My teacher was not like that. You could go and discuss anything and everything with him. Yeah. But all his students are not in the same boat. Yeah. All his students or teachers are not in the same boat. And you have to pick and choose then whom you will discuss what. Yeah. No. But one thing is true. Experientially, he doesn't have any of those issues. In his own life, there is no self-judgment based on any of those issues, whether he is contemporary or not. Yeah. If he is really a wise man and he is not contemporary, he will say, Samsaroyam ativa vichitram. In samsara, you can find all sorts of things. It's okay. I don't know anything. I don't have to deal with that. I deal only with what I know. He will take the stand. Still be non-judgmental, non-critical. He will say, samsara to vichitra hai. बहुत कुछ होता है यहाँ. माया का खेल है. If you want it Rishikesh style. माया का खेल है. वो होता रहता है सब कुछ. अच्छा ही है. होने दो. But is being harsh, critical, etc., then you know there is a question mark about the whole thing. Yeah. So, that's all. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Then we also saw that other verse, Apuryamana Machar Pratishtam. If you want to pick up one verse which deals with what a wise person is, this will be that verse. No? Heart is so full and complete. Whether pleasant or unpleasant experiences come, you are always Ananda. Yes, even the wise person has what is known as experiential Sukha Dukkha. Wise person is walking on the road, okay, and suddenly a scorpion stings him. Okay, he walking the road, scorpion stings him. What is he going to say? Anandam, Anandam. He is going to say ouch and he is going to rub his finger. What do you expect him to say? Yeah. And by evening that leg is swollen up with whatever poison, this, that, etc. What do you expect him? You expect him to take care about it or not take care about it? Yeah. Yeah, so that is experiential dukkha. It will happen. But he is not going to judge himself and say, because of that I am dukkhi. I am ananda going through dukkha experience. Or he finds all his students are doing very well, this, that, etc. Ananda. He is happy. Experiential. Because I am Ananda now going through a happy experience. I am Ananda going through an unhappy experience. But I am Ananda. That is the thing. Therefore, experiential thing will be there. No? Differences. Experiential desires also will be there. I always told you all this before. North Indian Mahatma, South Indian Mahatma. Yeah. South Indian coffee पी गए या लस्सी पी गए? लस्सी early morning ये क्या है? Coffee दे. पंजाबन महात्मा अरे कॉफ़ी क्या पीना है जब लस्सी पी सकता है. So these are drishta sukham, drishta dukkham. You know, apparently some things are there, experiential. Yeah.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
As an extension to that scorpion example you just gave, I'm just trying to understand a wise person's mindset when it comes to ahimsa. Not so much towards other humans, because I mean you have explained in the past that if other humans are adharmic, you can't just sit silent. But when it comes to say other living beings, for example, say a wise person's home has got say a mosquito problem. I'm just giving a very trivial example.
Yeah.
So would they have to first try to take action that is of minimum injury to others?
Open the windows but put good night on so that all of them will go out. They are papa yonis. Don't say, after all. I mean, I joke like that sometimes when mosquitoes bite. In a camp and all, I have joked like that. After all, we are food and drink for them now. Let them bite you. It's okay. That's more of a joke. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. Yeah. Put your good night, whatever, etc. I don't want you all falling ill with dengue and this and that. No, the wise person also doesn't want to fall in with dengue and malaria and things like that. So do what is necessary. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they will take. I mean, they are practical people. I mean, they won't crib. This place is full of mosquitoes. It's Rishikesh. What do you expect? Post rain in Rishikesh is bound to be. Like if you go to Rishikesh right now, there will be mosquitoes. When we went, there are mosquitoes. What do you expect? Yeah, it's a jungle area. Bound to be mosquitoes. Ganga won't have because flowing water, but there are stagnant pools here and there. No? So mosquitoes will be there. What do you expect? Yeah. So take care. Yeah. In the name of ahimsa, you don't do anything to the mosquito, and then all of you fall ill. With malaria, other people in the ashram will have problems. A wise person doesn't do that. Yeah. It's pragmatic enough. Yeah. So olden days also they were pragmatic enough. Olden days they didn't have good night, but they had dhoop and this and incense and all this type of stuff. They used that. Yeah. So people are pragmatic. Yeah. Ahimsa to others does not mean himsa to yourself. Ahimsa to others, including animal life, doesn't mean himsa to yourself. Yeah. The wise person may not want to kill the scorpion that bit him. Yeah. But he is not going to go and welcome the scorpion. Come. After all, You have to live so can bite me again.
The Jains go to the other extreme, no?
Yeah, they go to the other extreme in that. That is unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, they become a bit extreme in that. Not practical. Yeah. And because of that, some of the practices are problematic. Yeah. So, there is where it is. So, like someone said, that Vatapi Ganpati story shows that rishis ate meat. Correct. They ate. Yeah. They're living in the forest. They ate. They were not regular meat eaters, but occasionally, yeah. It was there. Today you don't have to. Just because your ashram is in a forest doesn't mean you have to eat meat, because vegetables are available all over. Yeah. So, according to time, place, circumstances, you do. Universal dharma is there, interpreted in terms of time, place, and circumstances. Yeah. Like everyone thinks Ayurvedic medicines are completely vegetarian. No, they are not. They are not. All of you have heard of Chavanaprash, which is purely vegetarian. Yes. Have you heard of Agastya Rasayanam? It is created by a rishi called Agastya. It's very good if you have been suffering from illnesses and you are very weakened state, physically weakened. Agastya Rasayanam is very, very good to build up your strength, your immunity, everything. But it has got 2% by volume meat. As a catalyst, they use meat in it. Yeah, go check up. Go to any Ayurvedic shop, ask for Agastya Rasayanam and check up in the ingredients. They'll mention it. As per Ashtanga Hridayam, this, the whole list will be mentioned. Ah, yes. I mean, the reputed brands I'm talking about, like Coimbatore Ayurvedic Center, Kottakkal, these are all, no, Ashtavaidya, Moose, these are all reputed centers. Yeah. They all mention it because they are honest about it. Leprosy treatment is available in Ayurveda. They use python fat for it.
For asthma, they make you swallow those fish, no?
That is not Ayurvedic treatment. That is one freak out thing that's happening in Hyderabad.
I thought it was Ayurvedic.
No, it is not Ayurvedic. It is not in the main Ayurvedic this thing. Yeah. But it works. Sometimes you have to do it a couple of times. Once is not enough. So second year, next year, third year, you have to go. Yeah. So, see, we never took an absolute stand in Vyavahara. Understand this well. Vyavahara, transactional life is relative. You took a relative stand over it. Pragmatic relative stand. Absolute is only your limitless consciousness. That's the only thing that is absolute. Everything else is limited, relative. Therefore, you took pragmatic. You kept dharma in view and interpreted that dharma according to the situation, your situation in life, everything. Yeah. Yeah. So, these things have to be kept in mind when you are dealing with life. Okay. Then, Krishna is painting a word picture. Okay? A word picture of a wise person in the next verse. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumansharati nispraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashantim adhigacchati. Sashantim adhigacchati. This person has reached the state of peace, moksha, whatever you want to call it, nirvanam. Vihaya kamanya sarvan. All kamas are dropped in from him. Okay? Why? You are Ananda. For what are you going to have any kama? Puman sharati nispraha. The person is walking through the life. Nispraha. Untouched by anything. Completely untouched. He is walking through the same society that you and I are living. He is seeing the same advertisements. He is seeing the same propaganda. He is seeing all that is here. Yeah. Very creative. Nice. That's Bhuvancharati nispraha. Okay. Nirmamaha nirahankaraha. There is no sense of this is mine. I want to possess it. You will be appreciative of things. You mean a wise person will not be appreciative? Let us say he sees a beautiful car, high performance, this thing, a Ferrari. Of course he'll be appreciating. What do you expect him to be? Yes, a moha maya ka khel hai. You expect him to say that? Yeah, good, very good design, sleek, nice, good performance car. Sunita, I don't see Meera here.
She just texted saying she's trying to join class. So I told her log out and log in.
Yeah, log in again because she's not here on the thing.
Yeah, so she's just going to do that.
So, they are going to be appreciative, sleek design, good, that appreciative, oh, good performance. Bit of a fuel guzzler though. Yeah. But that's all that's going to be. Appreciative. Doesn't have to possess it. Hey, it'll be great. Sadhu driving a Ferrari. There is no self-judgment in it. ठीक है यार. Yeah. Nor will he say, no, I can't step into a Ferrari. Okay. One of my friends, Sarvatmananda, Swar, okay, from US. So he came to the yoga festival in UK, London. I mean, he's way junior to me. I know him very well. We are good friends. Okay. So here's a devotee in UK, middle-aged lady. Said, oh, my Swamiji and his friend is coming. Anyway, it's time for me to pick up a new car. I'll pick up a new car. So she picked up a Mercedes Roadster. You know the coupe with the top open, etc. Orange color. And she comes, both of us, morning we just entered the yoga field where the things are going on. We still have time for our talk. Okay. So she comes up. Sanjay, come, see my new car. I bought it so that I can take both of you for a ride in it. Now one thing is, I don't like everything orange. Overdose of orange. But she has bought that. I said, you spent money, so a ton of money on a car. Yeah, I did that. Okay. I mean, she's rich enough to afford that. Fine. So we went for a spin in the car and came back. Good car, nice. Yeah. But that's it. Nispruha. It's not that next year when I went there, hey, what happened to your car? I want to go for a ride in it. That doesn't happen. Nispraha. Enjoyed when it's there, not there, fine. I knew this brat in Bombay, South Bombay. If her father sent an Indian car for her to sit, to go to college or come back from college or something, she will not sit in it. It has to be an imported car. This brat, sense of entitlement. And there is another Mahatma like that. I want to own 100 Rolls Royce. I wonder whether how many of you all remember that Mahatma. I mean, these are inappropriate, okay? Why do you have a desire? You don't have a desire for one, why 100? Nirmamaha, nothing is mine. Whole world is mine. That means nothing is really mine, isn't it? What is mine? Nothing. Really, what is mine? All of us, I mean, even for whether wise or otherwise. What is really yours? Yeah. You come, you own a few things, you possess a few things. You will leave it all and go, or they will go from you. Yeah. Nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. There is no sense of a finite self. Nirahankara here means a sense of finitude is not there. The sense of a finite being is not there. You are no more a finite being. Yeah. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. There is no sense of finitude. Ahankara means an idea of yourself as a finite being. Now remember, when the wise person also plays roles of finite beings. Okay? A teacher is a finite role, isn't it? You're teacher only to your students. You're not Jagat Guru, even if you are called Jagat Guru. You're not Jagat Guru, you're not teacher to the whole world. Yeah. So, it's a finite role. But there is no self-judgment, I am finite because of that. What are you, limitless consciousness? What are you doing now? Playing the role of a teacher, playing the role of a friend. Yeah. That's it. So, there is no ahankara in that sense. Ahankara has become a dress. Ahankara has become a role. There is no real ahankara there. There is no self-judgment that I am a finite entity. That is not there. It's a role. ठीक है. Nirmamo narahankaraha. Okay. Sa shantim adhigacchati. That person has that absolute peace. And there's a nice expression in English. It's attributed to Jesus Christ. He called it the peace that passeth all understanding. Yeah. I would say the peace that passeth all experience, not understanding. Because the wise person understands it well anyway. Yeah. So that is what it is. It is not that you are peaceful as a state of mind or a state of functioning. No. So always be calm and peaceful, quiet in the mind. No more agitations. No, peaceful. So even when I teach, I have to be peaceful. That is not what we are talking about. Your mind can be roaring with thoughts, storm of thoughts in your mind, thinking furiously about 10 different things. But you are the calm center in all that thoughts. Because you are peaceful, no? The storm is on the surface of the ocean, you are the depth of the ocean. So let the storms rage. What's the difference? What difference does it make? Don't let the worries worry you. If your thoughts are going to trouble you, you have a nightmare in your mind. See the mithyatvam of the whole thing. You are the reality. The thoughts rise in you, die down into you. You are untouched by the thought. So you're fine, you're peaceful. You may be roaring with laughter, you may be fighting a battle. But you're fine, you're peaceful, calm, calculated. Yeah. You think when Bhishma fought, he was very peaceful, what? One arrow. Simhanadam vinodyuchai. He roared like a lion, the Simhanada. Yeah. Yeah. He was not peaceful. Arjuna, Duryodhana, it is time to start the war. Bakwas band kar, blew his conch, drowned out everything. Yeah, because Duryodhana was getting all worked up, no? And blabbering and making Drona angry unnecessarily. So one night, loud lion's roar, everyone stopped, then blew his conch. Chalo, let the battle start. Yeah. That's how it was. Yeah. Yeah. So, this is not peace as opposed to noise or activity. This is peace in spite of thinking, peace in spite of acting, peace in spite of doing. In spite of all that, you are at peace. Because Atma is at peace all the time. Shantoham iti. Yeah. Very different. Yeah, this is not experiential. Yeah. Experiential peace, after some time you will get bored. Nothing is happening. Yeah. It's all too quiet. So what do you want to do? Chalo jaake garba khelega raat ko. Navaratri time, everywhere. Saturday, Sunday, at least there is garba everywhere. Even some localities, every day there is some garba going on. Because you are bored. So if there is too much of peace, you will be bored. If there is too much of activity, also you will be bored. Garba every night. Okay, for 1 week you will enjoy it. After that? Even the people who like to dance garba, they will say, both ho gaya abhi. So jane ke jake. I want to go and sleep. This is not something that you will get bored up of. Yeah, because this is your Swarupa, Anandoham. So, very, very different, okay? Then he concludes the section by saying, Esha Brahmistati Partha Nainam Prapya Vimukhyati Sitvapi Asya Antakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richati. Esha Brahmistati Partha. Hey, this is the Brahmistati. Brahmistati means this is the state of being one with Brahman. Having recognized your Brahman, owned it up in your life. You are Brahman. Brahmi sthiti. Okay, so Brahmi sthiti Partha. Nainam prapya vimukhyati. Once you have gained it, there is no return from it. There is no return from it. Ignorance cannot make a comeback. Politicians can make a comeback. But not ignorance. Okay. Yeah, once ignorance goes, it's gone for good. So, na vimukhyati. What if the wise person loses his mind? ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना? Supposing he meets with an accident and suffers from amnesia, what will happen? He may forget his name. Someone goes and asks, who are you? Where are you from? In fact, he may say all the wrong things. Vyavaharically wrong. Who are you? Everything. Where are you from? Everywhere. Because look at it. For him, the self is self-evident. Remember, for all of us, the self is evident to us, isn't it? Without any thinking, I know I am. I know I am without the need for a thinking, without a need for a pramana, without a need for any means of knowledge. It is self-evident. I am. How do you say you are? I am. How? Because I am. Therefore, I am is self-evident. Now, about this self-evident I don't know what I am. Because I don't know what I am, I have made some conclusions about what I am. This is all memory based, isn't it? What I am is memory based because of your past. What you have gone through, the education you went through, the cultural exposure you went through, the job experiences you went through, the personal experiences you went through, all that because of this is what you are. Amnesia, you forget all that. But I am is self-evident. And you've been very clear, I am is consciousness. Anando. How will that be forgotten? You may not have the words to explain, the words of the Shastra you may have forgotten. What is the Mahavakya? I don't know. Mahavakya? Some vague, I've heard it somewhere, but I don't know what it is. He may not remember the teaching methodologies. But I am consciousness, how can he forget? How can he forget that? I am self-evident, and the self-evident ignorance has been gone. Mind is not functioning, that's all. No? Mind is damaged. In fact, amnesia and all is a problem of the brain damage. Temporary brain damage. Could be permanent also, but temporary very often. So it comes back after some time. Yeah. The classical example of this was my grand guru, Swami Taranandagiri. I told you all this story before. Many of you must have heard the story. Got a call from Coimbatore. Swami Taranji is in depression. So I asked in my rough Hindi, Pagal kutta kata hai kya? Well, such questions deserve responses like this. You got mad? If Taranji is in depression, there is no hope for any of us. Nobody is just sitting quiet, he is not responding to anything. So either who was the idiot who made, because he is not responding to anything, who made the diagnosis? I know the diagnosis was made by a friend of mine only. Okay. That's why I use it. Who was the idiot who made that diagnosis? I said, go. Rule out any physical cause. Swamiji, we have checked up everything. Only we have not done a brain scan. Upper, brain neck scan. I said, do that also. I am coming down. They did that. And they found the carotid artery was blocked. So blood supply to the brain was limited. Sunita, I don't know what's happening to these people because I can't see any of them on the screen. No.
She just texted me saying she got disconnected, so she's connected again, but she's in the waiting room.
There's nobody in the waiting room. 1 second, find a participant. Let me just check, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Gunjan Arora in the waiting room. Okay, admit. Okay, there you are. I don't know why you are not being seen on my screen.
No idea, Swamiji. I was trying for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
because of a call. And
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Okay, doesn't matter. So because of the carotid artery blood supply was poor, because of that, his brain function was limited. So they gave him some blood thinners, this, that, etc., whatever treatment they had to do. And after that, they found that, is Gunjan there or she is lost again? Yeah, they are there. Okay, fine. Yeah. So then they found that he started functioning everything normal. So I asked him, Swamiji, kya ho gaya aapko? What had happened? So he says, बुद्धि काम नहीं करता था. My brain was not functioning. So what did he do? मस्तराम होके बैठ गया. If your brain is not functioning, what are you going to do? Tell me. What is it that you can do? Now look at it. He knows the fact is consciousness. He is illumining the mind, and the brain is not functioning, so he can't respond properly. So what do? Anandoham. Sit. Are you getting the idea? Yeah. Because if brain is not functioning, tell me which part of you will function. Everything is connected to the brain. The brain is not functioning. What can you do? Nothing. Yeah. Even if you have a small stroke in the brain, some few cells are affected, some part of you goes off ever. No? Here the whole brain is not functioning. बुद्धि काम नहीं करता था. मस्त राम होके बैठ गया. His knowledge is not lost. I am Ananda is known. I am consciousness is self-evident to him. But for that, you must be very clear about it, okay? Yeah. Esha Brahme Sthiti Partha Nainam Mashyan Navimukhyati Prapya Nainam Enam Prapya, having gained this, Navimukhyati, it is never lost. It can never be lost. Everything else can be lost, not this. You may forget the methodology of teaching this, that, etc. That may happen because of brain injuries and things like that. A stroke, something, that's fine. That can happen. Yeah. But not the knowledge. Sthitva asyam antakalepi. Even if you gain this rootedness in this knowledge, sthitva, if you are remaining in this knowledge, antakalepi, when your 1 foot is in the grave, doctor has given you 7 days to live. 7 days. Forget 1 month, 6 months, etc. Sometimes cancer diagnosis, they'll tell you, 6 months. Yeah. No. 1 week. Antakalepi. Anytime you can go. But you gain this knowledge. Brahma nirvanam richati. What does he gain? Brahma nirvanam. The nirvanam that is known as Brahman. The nirvanam that is known as Brahman. Yeah. Richati. He gains it. He is free. That is the story of Parikshit. Bhagavatam story. He has given 7 days to live. You have 1 week to live. After that, the Takshata poison will affect you and you will die. ठीक है? वेदांत सुन लो. 1 हफ्ता तो है ना. See, if somebody is told you have so many days to live, in a way it's a blessing, no? At least you know that there is that many days. You and I, can we say when we are going to live or die? Breath goes out, doesn't come back, gone. Itna hi ho na. It can happen right now. Yeah. As I am teaching, it happened to Abdul Kalam, remember? He is giving a talk somewhere and he collapsed on the dais and went. Where a way to go. What a way to go. Yeah. So as I am teaching, it can happen. Any guarantee is there? No guarantee for any of us. Old, young. Death is not age dependent. Yeah, it's not age dependent. Yeah. Though generally we see, okay, after lived a full life, then he went. That's general. Yeah. I joke, death is like a Bombay bus queue. There is a queue. But when the bus comes, the first person in the queue is not always the first person to get inside. The last person manages to get in. There's a scramble when the bus comes. So, same way, there's a scramble for death, okay? There is a queue, older people, younger people, etc., etc., queue. But when death comes, there's a scramble. Yeah, learn to joke about death, okay? It's important. Yeah. So, therefore, antakalepi sthitva brahma nirvanam rachati. Then Shankara commenting on that says, what to talk about a young person getting it then? If you got it in your 30s, 40s, 50s, then what? Great, no? Whole life of Jivan Mukta you can live. Yeah. Confuse every guy around you. Because Ya Nisha Sarva Bhuteshu. Yeah. Great, no? The idea is, it's never too early or never too late to gain this knowledge. What is too early? If the mind is ready, fine. Yeah, because the mind has to be ready. I don't advocate a teenager walking off to become a full-time sadhu. He can study, he can get exposed to. We all got exposed when we were just out of school. First exposure was then. That's okay. But you are not ready to become a monk there. You have to have seen a bit of life. Yeah. You have to see a bit of life. That's important. Because the mind has to be ready, For that, to get the mind ready, you need some experience of life. Yeah. Though I know there are children born who are all growing up, single digit numbers they are all having, who have the fate of studying from me. But wait, time hai, time hai. They can start studying when they are in their teens. That's why my life is getting extended. Time hai, no problems. Yeah. Studying we can start. 14, 15, 16, people will understand. But to make it their own and make their life, a little bit life experience are necessary for most people. Can't make a general rule, but for most people, you need that life experiences for maturity. Yeah. You have to break a few hearts, get your heart broken once or twice. Things like that should happen. Only then that maturity comes in. Maturity comes in. Yeah, because if you are ready to understand one another person in this world, then you are ready to understand anything else. Yeah. So, those type of experiences are necessary. But Shankara makes the case here. He says, then what about a younger person getting it? Yeah, great. So, start early, get early. Yeah. Oh, I came to it too late. It's never too late. Sitva antakalepi, Krishna is saying. Yeah. Sitva antakalepi. Oh, now I am too old. Next lifetime. Why postpone it? This lifetime itself you can be free. There is no need for another lifetime. Yeah. So, get it anytime. Okay. Brahma nirvanam rachati antakalepi sitva. With this, he says, iti Srimad Bhagavad Geeta Upanishadsu. Bhagavad Geeta, which is an Upanishad, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra, having both Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of the truth, Yoga Shastra, the ways of managing your mind, of mastering your mind, etc. What is the major thing of mastering your mind in the second chapter?
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga, okay, yeah. Yeah, Karma Yoga is the main thing. Okay. Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvad, in the form of a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, Sankhya Yoga. This chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya meaning Samyak Khyati, clear cut understanding, proper knowledge, right knowledge about yourself. So this Sankhya Yoga, yoga of knowledge. Yoga meaning chapter here, okay? Chapter, topic. Main topic is Sankhya Yoga. Yoga is not the other yoga we practice. No. Then Arjuna Vishada Yoga, people make a philosophy out of it. To come to Vedanta, you must have suffered something. You must be in grief. What's wrong with you? You're a happy person. Why are you going to Vedanta? Because I'm a happy person. I'm going to Vedanta because I want to discover I'm Ananda, the source of all happiness. Yeah. So, that is this chapter. Okay. So, really speaking, the whole Gita is there in the second chapter. The remaining 16 chapters are an elaboration of the second chapter. All that has to be said has been said in the second chapter. Then one verse will be taken, one word from here will be taken, one topic will be taken and elaborated over the next 16 chapters. Why? Because understanding requires some elaboration sometimes. People don't always understand it briefly, when said briefly. Therefore, elaboration. It was elaborated by Vyasa. Yeah. But whether Vyasa wrote it or Krishna wrote it doesn't matter. Both were steeped in the wisdom. Okay. So both statements are equally valid. So that elaboration we will see. So the third chapter will elaborate the Karma Yoga aspect a bit more. Bring in other nuances. Like this will go on. So it is good to study the whole thing. You know, there used to be an elderly lady coming to my class. Very, very competent lady. And I was doing something for her grandchildren and she came to check out, who is this sadhu who is doing something with my grandchildren? Is he trying to brainwash them or something? They are all good youngsters. Grandchildren and their friends, all of them would come to me. So she came and then she liked what I was doing. So she stayed. Said, for the Gita part of it, can I stay? I said, of course you can stay. And she was elderly. She asked me, what is the minimum you must study? I said, well, second chapter is complete Gita. So she would come, she would study, then after that we will have a cup of coffee together and I will come back to Chambur, she will go back to her home which was 2 minutes away. Because this was in her daughter's place. So once second chapter is over, I come home. And within a few minutes of me reaching home, I must have taken about almost an hour to come home. Because this was in Nepinsi Road, I am in Chambur. I got a call. Samji, you know what happened to my mother? I said, what? She just stepped into your home, collapsed and went. She was just waiting for you to finish the second chapter. I said, oh my God. I should be careful. If elderly people ask me, I should not say second chapter is complete Gita. But you went. I said, Stitvapi antakalepi brahma nirvanam richasi. She doesn't enjoy the Jivan Mukta Avastha, but no more birth and death, no? That much is there. Because she is understanding very, very keenly. Yeah. So that is it. Okay, that is it. ऐसा भी होता है. In life you see all. So that's the advantage of being teaching for the last 40 years. If you have been there, seen that, you know. You see all that is happening. Yeah. So this is one of the things that happened. Okay. She was Mrs. Mulgaonkar, the Tata chairman's wife. Her grandchildren, what? Her great-grandchild is in touch with me, you know. Her grandchildren, great-grandchild, in touch with me. A 20-year-old kid. Yeah. And that's life. Okay, but that's also the power of the Gita. Okay, the Gita is not a simple text. If you study the whole Gita, there is enough for your own personal moksha. Enough. So with that, we'll stop for the day. Okay, and next class, if there are any questions on the second chapter, etc., as a whole, come back with those questions. If there aren't, we'll move ahead. Yeah, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.